Hello everyone, this is Sir Ariel Salameda, and today I am going to read you a short story. This short story is entitled Makato and the Cowrie Shell by Sopani Kanchana Theti. Once upon a time, there was a boy whose name was Makato. He was an orphan, for his father and mother died when he was very young. He had no brothers, sisters, cousins, or friends to take care of him, so he had to make a living for himself. He did every kind of work, carrying heavy things, clearing away the forest, and feeding pigs. He never idled. Although he was paid only small wages, he was satisfied. He knew that if he would not work, he would starve. Wherever he went, his employers praised him for being sensible, hardworking, good-tempered, and cheerful. One fine evening, after he had finished chopping up a big pile of wood, he sat down to rest and thought of all he would like to do in the future. He wanted to try his luck in far-off strange lands, for he longed for exciting adventures. "What are you thinking about so deeply, my boy?" asked his employer. "I would like to go on a journey for adventure," said Makato, pointing to the northeast. "I heard that the land is fertile and the people are kind. I wish I could see the land for myself." His eyes sparkled with excitement. "The land you wish to go to is called Sukhothai," said his employer. "They say Rarawang of Sukhothai is a very kind-hearted king. You might be lucky if you could go there." Some time later, Makato decided to try his fortune. He left his village and set out in the wide world. He walked along cheerfully, enjoying new sights and talking to the people he met on the way. After a month's journey, he reached a village on the boundary of the kingdom of Sukhothai. "Please, can I have some water to drink?" Makato asked an old woman with a big water pot on her head. "I'm so thirsty." "Oh, where did you come from? Why are you here alone? You look as if you've come a long way," said the old woman, pouring cold water from her pot into a small cup and handing it to Makato. "Thank you so much," said the boy. "Who are your father and mother? Haven't you got any family?" the old woman asked again. "I come from the city of Mon over there," replied Makato. "Good heavens! Have you really come from Mon? How is it that you're traveling alone? Such a young boy as you are." "I wanted to see Rarawang of Sukhothai," replied Makato. "They say he is a very kind-hearted king." "Wow, you are a very determined boy," said the woman. "Come along with me. Who knows? You might see Rarawang someday." Makato was glad to go with her. If he could work with this kind of woman, he would have a place to sleep, some food to eat, and perhaps someday he might be lucky enough to see the king. The old woman's husband was one of the Rarawang mahouts, which meant that she helped the mahout find the food for the elephant and clean the elephant sheds. He worked hard and well, and the mahout and his wife grew fond of him. One day, the sky was clear and the weather so fine. It seemed to Makato that it must be a lucky day. As he worked in the elephant sheds, a tall young man in the splendid costume, followed by the attendants, came in. It was Rarawang himself. Makato bowed low at once, with his hands clasped together before him. His heart beat fast. "Where did the boy come from?" the king asked the mahout, who was attending him. "He came all the way from the city of Mon," said the old mahout, bowing. "He heard so much about you, your majesty, that he longed to see you." How old is he?" the king asked further. 12 years old, your majesty," replied the mahout. "A good-looking and hard-working boy," said the king. "Take good care of him." As the king walked away, Makato saw a little cowrie lying on the ground. He ran to pick it up and held it to the king. But the king said with a smile, "You may keep it." "How wonderful!" Makato thought. "The king has given me a cowrie shell." At that time, the people of Sokotha used cowrie shells as money. Although one cowrie had little value, Makato wanted to make as much use of it as possible, for it was the king's gift. For a long time, he could not think of a way to use it so that it would earn money for him. One day, he passed by a stall in the market where the seeds of many different plants were sold. He looked along the stall and caught sight of a basket full of lettuce seed. Lettuces! He could grow small plants like that. He asked the joyful woman at the stall, "Can I buy some lettuce seed?" "Oh yes, my boy. How much do you want?" said the old woman. "I have one cowrie shell," said Makato. "One cowrie shell?" said the woman, laughing. "That won't buy anything. I can't even measure that much." "Look," said Makato eagerly. "I will dip my finger into the pile of seeds. Then I will take the seeds that stick to it. That must be right for one cowrie shell." "Well, why not?" said the amused woman at his suggestions. "All right, boy, help yourself." Makato paid the woman his one cowrie shell. Then he dipped his finger into the pile of seeds. When he pulled his wet finger out, it was covered with seeds. He carefully scraped them off his finger into the palm of his hand and went away, happily clutching the seeds. Now that he had seeds, Makato broke the soil and sowed them at once. He watered the seed bed every day, and soon the young plants appeared. Day by day, he cleared more ground and planted more lettuce seedlings until the kitchen garden was covered with them. He was very proud of himself because he had done so well. "I wish I could give the king some lettuces," he thought. One day, the king passed by the elephant sheds again. Makato waited for an opportunity, then knelt down and proudly presented his biggest lettuces to the king. "Where did you get this?" the king asked, surprised. "I grew them from the cowrie shell you gave me, your majesty," answered Makato, beaming with a smile. "How could you do that?" asked the puzzled king. Makato told the king the whole story. The king was impressed with his intelligence and industry, so much so that later on, he gave Makato a job in the palace. As the years passed, Makato grew tall and handsome. He mastered every grace and served the king well. He was so loyal that the king trusted him absolutely. He was promoted to higher positions until he was given the title of Kun Wang, which meant that he was the most important person in the king's court. He was also happily married to the beautiful young daughter of the king. After that, the king made him the ruler of the Mon. So it was that Makato, who had once been a poor orphan, became the king of the prosperous kingdom. The end.